Story Day, one of the 8 billion made-up stupid holidays, but I told my story, Gina told hers, Greg told his. His is actually an animated podcast. Menace, if you want to put a link to it somewhere like on our social
I'll put it
media.
on our Instagram story.
It was from a while ago. You got to say it's so funny. It's one of my favorite stories, Greg, from anybody ever.
It's cathartic to share it. It's so pathetic.
It's the length that you went to. You know?
I know.
Insane.
Yeah. Menace, what's your best story?
Ooh, so actually, Woody, you and I were kind of talking about it the other day. But I didn't share the full story. We were talking about it with some of our coworkers. So in 2009, it was St. Patrick's Day, and myself and another coworker, Tony, who was on the show at the time, we were broadcasting from a bar in the morning. And
that's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, and Tony got so hammered.
Wait, hold on. Don't go ahead. Don't jump ahead.
All right.
So we're all getting super hammered, right? And we're calling back into the radio station, and I was drunk tweeting, and I drunk tweeted Jimmy Fallon to call into the show because that week he started the late night show with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
It was before the Tonight Show, and he decided to call in. So he actually called in to the show, and we talked to him for like an hour. And I don't even remember talking to him because I'm so wasted. But that was super fun. Now, the part that I left out of the story that I just recently shared with our coworkers is after the show that day, I was friends with all the like suicide girls at the time that were living in San Francisco, like those nude models,
like
whatever.
Pinup girls.
Yeah, pinup girls.
Nice.
And they were messaging me after the show that day, like, oh, our photo shoot got messed up, whatever, blah, blah. And I said, oh, just come over to my place. You guys can use my place, right? And at the time, I'm living with two other females. And all these girls come over, and they get completely naked, and they're, like, doing a photo shoot in my apartment. And myself and my roommates, we're just getting drunk and laughing and listening to music while all these girls are naked. And after we're done shooting, they're like, oh, let's go on a hike. So everyone thought it was a great idea. Again, we're freaking hammered to go hiking right by the Golden Gate Bridge. So we're in like the woods of the Golden Gate Bridge. And I'm like blacking out drunk. And next thing I know, I'm just like kind of eating sushi and doing sake bombs, right? Amazingly, I wake up to go to work the next day. Now, here's the other part of that story. Remember when I was with Tony?
Yes.
He gets hammered. Apparently, he went back to the radio station and he turned on all of our cameras that were in the studio.
Yep.
At the time, we did live streams. Forgot to turn off the cameras, right?
No.
So when I get to work the next day, we're looking at all the text messages. Hey, look at your guys' cameras because it archived all the cameras. We clipped it for you. Look at the cameras. So I look, and what do I find on the cameras? One of our coworkers joeing on camera.
Masturbating in the studio. Seattle Matt.
Yep.
I wasn't going to say his name, but yes.
Whatever.
So
he did it.
That's who
I
it
mean,
was.
that's his legal name.
Yeah, so it's like one of the wildest days because, you know, we have video of our coworker joing.
Yeah, and he impregnated the studio trash can.
Right.
So he blew it right into the trash can. By the way, and this was like, now we have our own studio. Nobody uses this studio besides us. This is our own studio.
Yeah.
However, at that time, it was the same studio that everybody used.
Oh my
and
God.
so he had his like jizz hands on the mouse and on all the controls and all the stuff. And not to mention now, like the trash can was going to give birth to little baby tampon trash cans.
And he was playing with his nipple.
Oh, yeah, he was tweaking his nipple.
Yeah.
And you saw the whole thing.
Back
It's
and
like,
forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
It was very weird.
You also got Tony on video falling out of his chair.
Yeah, that was pretty fun, but that wasn't like the super highlight of it. But what's even worse is like I was so hungover that I didn't even leave my office that day. So then I had to see that guy who was joing later that day walking to the boss's office to like get let go.
Why? Did he do something wrong?
I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Like, somebody had texted, people were texting, then people called. Of course, we're talking about it. Now we're watching the video while we're on the air.
Yeah.
And I guess everybody heard about it. I mean,
insane.
If it wasn't public, I would have been like, dude, you know.
But here's the thing: you're in the studio where everybody uses
Yeah,
it. We were disgusted.
It was out there.
Yeah.
It was out there.
Now, did we just have somebody in our studio with a pipe in their ass putting a beer up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but that was clean, fun content.
Yeah, duh.
in the privacy of our own
tradition.
studio.
Exactly.
Yeah. Seabass, what's your best story?
Well, you guys have been witness to it. It unfolded here on the air with the whole finding out I have kids. That's the one story I tell that people always ask, tell me more. And for folks who are new, I donated
Sold.
Generously.
the stuff that went in the trash can a minute ago to needy and wanting families out there who wanted to conceive.
Yeah.
Lesbian.
And thanks to
That was his way of making money when he was in college.
and afterwards in radio. On account of radio doesn't pay anything. And I kind of forgot about it. Well, in the time that I forgot about it, and in the time that I've worked for this show, the whole 23andMe, Ancestry.com came about. And so, therefore, what should have been an anonymous donation for at least 18 years turned into a very public donation to the point that I've now met several of those children. And so that's why the story goes off in 1,000 different directions about how I got it, how I found out about it, how my mom found out about it and told me about it, because she had no idea.
Yeah.
So now she's got like a Facebook page, right?
Well, they do.
Yeah.
They
do. It's
yeah.
kind of dedicated to the children of
you.
Seabass.
Oh, speaking of which, yes, I talked to her earlier this week. She's planning a trip to go visit some of them in Quebec.
Your mom is?
Yes.
So she refers to some of these kids as her grandkids.
She calls them either genetic grandkids. I forget what. There's a
Adjacent
biological.
grandkids.
There's a modern term for it.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
a term like you don't say kids or grandkids. It's like genetic or like my genetic half brother or my biological half
Now I
brother.
forget you're up to how many?
23 plus.
23. Oh, so it
Nice.
is 23 and me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying
Popular.
let's pitch the reality show.
See, I people have asked about that, and the problem is like I think you need me to be a likable, caring character.
Uh-huh.
Not that I don't care about these children, I do, but I'm not like
You've traveled to see them.
yeah, absolutely. But I'm not like a
You've
wonderful
gone to
like-
sports games.
You need for this to be
yeah.
interesting. You need
have
this to be like
a
me,
loving
like,
father. Want a connection.
right, like oh my god, I never.
You can fake it. We've seen you do it 100 times.
Exactly right.
See, that's not the kind of faking
camera.
that I find interesting.
Seabass, I gotta say,
Yeah.
that is one of the most self-aware things I've ever heard from a
Exactly.
person.
You need like a
That's not me.
you need a Forrest Gump style guy.
Right.
Like, well, I guess.
Well, then you
Oh,
like
shucks.
23 and me on the spectrum or something.
Well, so far they seem to be pretty normal because the ones I met at least are just
Yeah.
average Joes and
Yeah.
Jills.
Just call the show My Daddy's Got Asperger's.
Yeah. How about
So
that?
that's easily the most interesting thing that I ever told
Yeah.
people. Oh yeah, I
That's
just
incredible.
donate, and then now I have kids.
Yeah. I mean, I thought when I first met Seabass and heard these stories, I'm like, I thought one of the best stories was just the fact that instead of doing other things for money, in college, like some people get like a college job,
Part-time job,
he would just
yeah.
go down to the sperm bank,
Crank it out.
dump one off there, and they'd pay him. And then wasn't it that you found out, or somebody told you, or somehow, hey, well, if you test into Mensa, they'll give you more. If you test over a certain,
It wasn't Mensa. It was if you get more, if you allow them to find you later. But that was supposed to be when they turn 18.
I thought it more for like Genius Juice.
Yeah,
or
did you
Well,
have to genius juice?
That's one of the things that gets you through the door. Like because every Joe out there wants to be like, oh, wait, I get paid for that? Awesome.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Do that anyway.
Yeah, $65 for anonymous, $100 for, and this was before
Yeah, yeah.
inflation.
Sure.
$100 for full info.
Yeah. Sammy, what's your best story?
When I was in first grade, it was somebody's birthday, and I really wanted one of the cupcakes. Someone had brought in cupcakes for their birthday, and they were waiting. And I had to go to the bathroom. And I didn't want to ask to go to the bathroom because I thought I wasn't going to get a cupcake if I went to the bathroom. And it was the funfetti, the good ones, like homemade. Sometimes
Yeah.
people brought them in, and you were
The
like, I don't
store-bought
even.
ones.
Yeah, yuck. And so I was
I don't know,
holding
I'll
it
eat
the
'em.
whole
I mean,
time
it's-
because
No,
I
for
was
sure.
because I was for some reason convinced that right when I went to the bathroom was when they were going to hand out the cupcakes, and I wasn't going to get one, and there wasn't going to be enough. So I stayed in class when I had to go to the bathroom, and I pooped my pants. And so now I'm sitting there in class, and I had pooped my pants, and our desks were like in fours, right? So you have someone next to you and two people across from you, kind of is how we were all situated. And it starts to smell. And now all the kids are like, do you smell that? Who farted? Okay, so at least my brain's like, oh, what a relief. They think someone farted. They're not even jumping to who pooped their pants. And so everyone's talking about it, and then it's story time, and everybody has to get up to go sit on, the carpet or
Right.
whatever. And I know that I cannot get up. So I sat in my seat, And I called my best friend over and I was like, go get the teacher. So the teacher came over and I told her that I pooed my pants. So she just sent me out the door to the nurse's office. And I just tried to scoot out the door while everyone was doing story time. And the nurse, this was a Thursday, which my dad had Thursdays off. So this was not his realm, but my mom would go run errands. So the school calls my house and it's my dad. And the nurse is like, hey, Sammy had an accident. Can you come pick her up? So my dad's like, all right,
not
sure.
even bring new pants?
Wow. Yeah.
No, because I think it was kind of closer to the end of the day. There was,
not
that
I would've
much
done
time
that.
left.
It was a real mess.
I would have crapped my pants on purpose just to get out of school.
Get this crapper out of here.
Yeah.
So my dad comes to pick me up and he's like, all right, let's go. And we're walking out to the car. And then he looks at me and goes, Jesus Christ, you pooped your pants? I thought you just peed. And he was like, you're not sitting in the seat in my car. So when I got in the car, I was in the passenger seat. No, I was in on the passenger side front seat.
Like in the wheel well?
He pushed the whole seat back and I had to squat the whole way home. So I was squatting in the passenger seat of the car while he drove me home.
And
with the windows down?
And no cupcake.
And no cupcake.
That's the biggest tragedy. And did the kids figure out at school that you crapped your pants?
Yeah,
I don't know, but nobody said anything to me after. But my best friend was the best. Like she knew everything, and she kept her mouth shut. And so she would have defended me if anyone said anything. Yeah, she was great.
So in like freshman year in high school, you weren't still called like Sammy Poopy Pants.
Well, I had moved by then, but no, I was never called Poopy Pants at all.
Yeah,
ever.
you lucked out.
Not even the next day or anything.
I remember first grade, some girl crapped in like the hallway, and like people still talked about it 18 years later.
Oh, dude, there was a kid at one of my kids' schools that just got busted joeing in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
And everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
You got to switch
Game
schools.
over, dude.
Yeah, I
do that during school.
Yeah, I forget. He's got a nickname. I forget what it is. My son told me, but he's already been renamed.
Wanky.
Of course.
Like, dude, can you imagine?
You change schools, man. It's over.
Sammy, you're
get a new
disgusting.
identity.
Yeah, you're gross.
You
I just
are an
wanted
animal.
a cupcake.
Yeah.
It was funfetti.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Those are our best stories, guys. I don't even know why you listen to the show anymore. 'Cause that's it. Doesn't get any better than that.
That's it.
Nothing ever.
Yeah, story day. There, that's how it works. We got people calling in. Here, you want to take one of the calls now?
Yeah.
All right.
This is Lenny. What's up, Lenny?
Lenny.
Hey, who's this?
It's the Woody Show.
Woody. Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
I got a
you
crazy
called us,
story.
right? I'm just making sure.
yeah,
Is this the upside
I'm
down?
Hi.
Right.
Who am I
I'm so
calling?
sorry. I wasn't expecting it so quickly, but
It's all right.
I got a doozy of a story.
All right, what's yours?
Absolute doozy. Okay, so I'm going to try to, there's so much to unpack here, but I'll try to do it as fast as humanly possible.
You got 2 minutes.
Okay, so I was married for 10 years to a woman, got divorced, but I found out she was cheating on me with the best man at my wedding.
Oh, no.
Oh.
This culminates in them having a relationship, a rather toxic one, whereas she gets a restraining order against him, and then it culminates in him burning her house down.
What?
I find this out, and she's really cryptic, so she asked me to come over to her house. So I don't know this at this point. I don't know it. So I drive up, and as I'm driving up, there's a cop car in front of me. So it pulls over by her house, and then I pull up in her driveway, and I look at her. I'm like, "Hey, is that for me?" Like, because she has a restraining order against me. She goes, "Oh God, no." I don't even notice the yellow tape around her house because the front part of her house wasn't really burnt that much. But we get in my car to talk about what we're going to do with the kids, yada yada yada. All of a sudden, the cop comes up to my car, knocks on my window, and says, "Can you get out of the car?" I said, "Yeah." I get out. "Do you have an ID?" I give him the ID, and he cuffs me. And I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "She has a restraining order against you." I go, "Yeah, but her house burned down." She goes, "I don't care." So I get processed.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, that's my crazy, like, it's insanely crazy.
And then how long, I'm assuming they released you pretty quickly, though, after they understood the circumstance, or no?
Woody, the funniest thing was I had to, they let me go that day, but then the guy said there might be a warrant out on you, and I said, okay. Sure enough, my ex-wife calls and says, yep, there's a warrant. So I had to surrender to the jail. I go there. You cannot believe the people that are in there. And what's funny is I only have a $100 bail, right? I'm going to be processed and just let go. I'm the most miserable person there. Everybody else is like happy. All these people that are there.
That's
to
crazy,
the point where this one guy, this one black guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey man, you got a vape?" I go, "No, I don't." I go, "What are you in here for?" He goes, oh, man, DWB? What's DWB?
Driving while black.
Driving while black?
Yeah.
And I'm
that
like,
happens.
so, but everybody there is happy. It's like that's their playground or whatever. Like, I'm miserable.
It's the clubhouse. Well, Lenny, thank you for sharing your story. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I love you guys.
We love you.
Oh, man.
All right, thanks, Lenny. Bye.
Okay, much love.
Bye.
The Woody Show will be right back.